Hello, my name is Çelik, and I'm a Career Development Specialist with West Virginia University Career Services Center.
And I'm Jessie, Barclay, and I'm also a Career Development Specialist at the WVU Career Services Center.
And today we're going to talk to you about the job search process, developing a game plan, and even a little bit about creating effective documents to help you guide in this job search process to look for an internship primarily, because at the sophomore level, that should really be on your radar and that should be your focus. And we'll try to give you some of the basic information that you will need at this stage in your academic career. And then hopefully in the future, as juniors and sophomores, you will learn a lot more in depth about the job search process and kind of nuts and bolts of creating resumes and cover letters and even interviewing too. Do you have anything you want to add, Jessie?
No, let's get into it.
All right. So
one thing that you absolutely need to know is when a recruiter is looking at your resume, they're not going to spend like 5 minutes looking over it and going through every single detail. They have a lot of things going on. They want to find the best candidate as quickly as possible and get them in for an interview. They're going to spend 10 seconds or less looking over your resume. So it has to be really easy to read.
And another thing for you to know, and that's why we kind of brought up numbers here, is because, well, getting a job, finding an internship is really a numbers game. Because on average, they receive about 250 applicants and only 4 to 6 of them will be called out for an interview, if at all, because sometimes they only bring in maybe 2 or 3 people if they were able to determine the candidates they want fairly effectively. And another thing for you to know here, and it's really, really important, you can't just apply for 1 or 2 positions and hope that your phone is just gonna ring off the hook. It's not the reality of it. On average, and again, this sometimes depends on the industry you're in, but on average, you need to apply for about 5 to 10 positions every week to hopefully get 1 interview. So that's just the reality of it.
And you really want to start thinking about starting that process in September, even August of definitely your sophomore year, because some companies will post early, some will post later, so you want to continually look. But the really important thing to remember is here at Career Services, we actually have a lot of career fairs, virtual and non, that we have a ton of companies coming onto campus, and 85% of those companies that come on campus usually finish their recruiting by the end of September. So it's really important that you do this early and that you're consistently doing it until you get that internship.
And it's not to say that they're going to be done by September. Oftentimes they try, like companies like to work ahead and they create budgets in advance because they want to know where they're going to be standing in 1 or 2 years, later. So they try to work as soon as possible and fill those positions come fall. But if they have any unfilled positions come spring, you'll still have, internships and other opportunities in the spring career fairs. They may not be as many in volume, but there'll still be a lot of opportunities for you. And also between fall and spring, they may have new positions that became available, and that would give you even, more opportunities. But that is to say, I agree with Jessie. It's really important that you start this process early and not wait till the summer of your junior year to look for an internship, because that's just setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly. The more internships you have, the more opportunities you have to figure out exactly what you want to do, but also what you don't want to do. These experiences are fantastic, and we'll go more into that later.
Yeah. Okay. So to help you guide with your job search process, we wanted to share a few really important resources with you. And these resources will help you tremendously in not only in your internship search, but also full-time position search in the future.
And another thing you want to remember is all of these are easy to access on the Career Services website. And the first one is going to be Handshake. You've already had an assignment where you looked into Handshake. This is the WVU career search site. This is where positions are posted because they are looking for WVU students. This is where we want you to start. But you want to use a lot of resources so that you have a lot of nets casted, so you can get a lot of opportunities, and you can hopefully choose between opportunities when the time comes. So Handshake's definitely where we want you to start.
Exactly. That just gives you a great starting point, because all of these, all the employers that we have listed on Handshake oftentimes want to come and recruit WV students. So unlike Indeed.com or some of the other job search engines out there, the sample size for them is a lot smaller. By that I mean, when you're applying a position on Indeed.com, you're competing against pretty much the whole entire country, right? But for Handshake, it'll be a lot more limited for you because, again, these employers have indicated a high interest in hiring WV students to career services, and that's the only way that we put them on our Handshake platform. So by that same token, the more resources you use in your search, the better your chances of securing a position. And LinkedIn will be another invaluable resource for you. In the recent surveys, a lot of recruiters indicated that 85% of all positions are filled through some kind of networking. And that's what LinkedIn is. It's basically the professional Facebook of the business world, and people who are either looking for jobs or recruiters who have positions, they go on LinkedIn. There's a specific job search piece in the platform, but the whole point here is actually expanding your networks, creating meaningful relationships so that by the time you are ready as a senior to look for a full-time job, you already have a pretty solid network going for you. And it's going to make things a lot easier when it comes, when the time comes to apply for that full-time position.
Yeah, and for LinkedIn, for you, really the most important part is not only looking for those jobs, but making sure your profile is updated. This can be your online resume. You can put things on there and have much more room than you would on your one-page document. So it's fantastic. And honestly, if a recruiter is looking at you and going, this person seems interesting, they're going to look at your LinkedIn. So you want to make sure you have a professional photo, which we do provide. And we have opportunities for here at Career Services. And you want to make sure that it's looking at you're showing yourself in your best light. So definitely highlighting the same things on your resume.
Mm-hmm. To kind of go off of the importance of updating your profile, please do the same on your Handshake profile as well, and always have your most updated resume uploaded into this platform. Oftentimes the recruiters, the employers, the companies that we collaborate with, if they have positions available, they sometimes do a quick search. And if you have your resume uploaded and profile updated on there, you're going to be able to, you're going to pop up on their search, and they may even send you a request to interview you for an internship without even you applying for the position.
And that's kind of the dream.
I know, right? So the other important resource would be the Career Shift. Again, it's a job search engine, but I think it's a lot better than some of the other ones out there. It's free for WV students. If you go to our website, you'll be able to find a lot more details on that, as well as going global. It's another great resource, especially if you are thinking about careers or internships overseas.
And the other great thing about Career Shift, it actually uses a really cool algorithm to go through all the job search engines and puts all those jobs that they find from those job search engines into one place. So please use that. And again, Glowing Global is great, especially for anything. So it's a great resource. Another thing that we do encourage students to use is ONET. It's put out by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And it's not necessarily a job search engine, but what it does is it gives you all of the statistics we have on particular job positions and job titles in the United States. It gives salary, it gives tasks. It actually is a good place if you know you're looking for a specific position that you can go through and get ideas on what to put on your resume. It's a very powerful tool, and we really highly encourage you to look through that.
So these are some great resources to help you in your job search, but this is not an exhaustive list. Depending on your industry, you may use a lot more resources. Here's a simple example for you. If you are in the sports field, it's really important to go and look at, maybe like if you're thinking about professional sports, for example, well, go check NBA's website and see what type of job postings they have. Or if, let's say, do you want to give an example from your pathway, Jessie?
Yeah, so a lot of times students, especially if they're working in agriculture, will go for more state jobs or maybe federal jobs. For those positions, you want to go directly to the State Department and directly to the federal USA jobs. So
Mhm.
again, like Çağla was saying, these are great resources, but if you know really specifically what job and what industry you're looking into at a specific company, go directly to that website because you're
Mhm.
going to find it more often than when you go on these search engines.